my older sister, Kay, 32, my younger sister, Jay, 28, my younger sister's fiance, Matt, male 32. Kay and Matt met at work about 2.5 to 3 years ago. He was hired as a consultant at her company on a few months' assignment. They became close, but nothing happened because they probably didn't think it was professional. I think both, or I know that my sister at least, was hoping that it would develop into something more when his assignment was completed. Kay is very shy and private, but even with that, she couldn't stop talking about Matt to Jay and me. When she turned 30, we encouraged her to invite him too, with the rest of her close friends from work. She was very hesitant and panicked at first, but then she thought, yeah, why not? His assignment was almost done anyway. Matt and Jay met at that party. 6 months later, Jay told us that she and Matt were a couple. This devastated Kay, and I knew that, even though she held herself together and pretended to be happy for them. I almost made her confess her heartbreak to me because I couldn't just let her hurt alone without any support. She said that she was angry or disappointed. After her birthday, he changed towards her and became even a bit angry. Then when he left, he stopped talking to her. Kay said that she probably misinterpreted his interest in her. I know that she's still heartbroken about it. Matt was assigned to her company again, which was awkward at first, but eventually they became friends again. Now he's a part of the family. Kay never showed that she was hurt. Now I discovered that Jay told Matt that Kay had a boyfriend at that birthday party. Matt is very handsome and lovely, and Jay wanted him. Matt was shocked at first because he was hoping for something more, but he probably just thought that he too misinterpreted Kay's interest in him. He's very shy too. After that party, he probably decided to cut his losses and not pursue Kay. Jay, however, kept contacting him, asking him out, being supportive. First, he refused, but then they started dating. How do I know all this? Jay's roommate spilled the beans to me, thinking I knew everything. I'm closer to Jay than Kay. Matt has now proposed to Jay. I feel sick because I want to tell Matt what happened so he can make an informed decision. Marriage is not a game. At the same time, he and Jay seem perfect for each other, and the love is genuine. Maybe he was interested in Kay, yes, but obviously it wasn't that deep. Also, Kay, I want to tell her, but she seems okay with the relationship too. She made it clear that Matt and Jay obviously meant to be, or it wouldn't have happened. But I want to tell. Would I be the idiot if I told everyone what happened? Not the idiot. I would tell Matt. This isn't about Jay or Kay being with him, but that his whole relationship was built on a lie. Jay caught him because of a lie. He deserves to know the truth. What she did wasn't fair to him or Kay. Frankly, I would limit contact with Jay. She's clearly selfish. She knew how Kay felt. I would also tell Kay. Clearly, Jay's not to be trusted. What else has she done to hurt Kay? What else has she stolen? What else has she stolen? Jay stole Kay's boyfriend when we were younger. Jay was 15 at the time, so obviously, the blame lay with the guy who was 20. It was his fault, and nobody put the blame on Jay. But yeah, she got together with Kay's first boyfriend. Wow, younger sister is something. She certainly doesn't consider anyone else when she made her decisions back then. This reeks of jealousy. She wants everything that's Kay's. I would honestly tell Kay and Matt separately, this isn't about them being together. Jay can't be trusted, and Kay's clearly the one she's targeting for whatever jealous reasons. They deserve to know the truth, but be prepared for the backlash. Your younger sister's behavior was cold and calculating, suggesting that the consequences could be severe. A marriage based on a lie or manipulation is not a good thing. These types of things do tend to come out later and cause much bigger problems. You don't need to directly tell him. Just mention it while talking with him like, yeah, she was single for a year. Insult another event near birthday. You and Jay also met around that time, right? He'll figure it out on his own. My mom hasn't been the greatest in the past. She can be insulting and was catty. She didn't get off to a good start with my wife due to her rude and self-centered behavior, but I took my wife's side and laid down boundaries. My mom gets that she can't be rude these days. I fully understand that my wife will never like her. My mom probably won't like her either, and we'll all just avoid each other for the most part. Don't get me wrong. It saddens me as I was close to my family, but my wife comes first. We recently got married, and it was a nearly perfect day. The one issue that arose was my mom had a fairly large, very noticeable food coloring stain on her cheek, about the size of a lighter. Obviously, she wasn't happy about this and wanted it covered. She never does her own makeup and knows very little about makeup. The makeup artist was a friend of my wife's and knew all the drama about my mom. She told her she would try, but the makeup would have to be darker to hide it. She and my wife giggled ahead of time and decided to screw with her. She made it super dark, like orange. My mom has fair skin, so it looked ridiculous. My mom seemed to believe nothing lighter would cover it, so she removed all the makeup and went on with her big pink blotch. I didn't know about this then, but we recently returned from our honeymoon, and my wife hosted a dinner to look at the wedding pictures. Her friends all began laughing about what they did to my mom. This was the first time I had heard about it, and I said that it was kind of mean and girlish. My wife gave me a look. Her friends kept saying it was funny, and my mom was dumb and got what she deserved. At this point, I got annoyed and said that they acted like middle school bullies and should be embarrassed. Whatever my mom had done in the past, she was not the problem on the wedding day. This might be way too far, but I said at least she laughed it off and moved on with her spot. They would have spent the whole day insecure and worried about Instagram. When they left, my wife became very upset and said I should be on her side 100%, not 95%. And I humiliated her by speaking to her friends like that. She accused me of being a mama's boy. Not the idiot. You were correct. Your wife acted like a middle school bully, not an adult. Being her husband does not mean you support her blindly. It means you have the courage to tell her when she's going down the wrong path. This is not being a mama's boy. This is being a good and moral human being. If she wants you to be behind her 100%, she needs to act like a grown-up. Wow, this is really terrible. You just got a glimpse of your future here, buddy. She's probably going to do more unacceptable things in the future, whether to your mom or anybody else, and gaslight you to support her doing things, simply because you guys are married. This was cruel, period. I'm amazed he didn't see this side of her before. Mean girls 100%. Not too late for an annulment. He married a woman that's just like his mom. Dude, what kind of person makes their wedding day into a revenge party? That's what she and her friends remember most about the day? So unbelievably juvenile and sad. You are the idiot, and good luck being married to this petty gal. I am a steam fitter, but I've been working at it for a while and am a supervisor. With bonuses and incentives, not counting benefits, I earn over $100 an hour. I also work out of town. I started doing that once the kids were old enough to care for themselves when their dad was at home. So when my youngest was in middle school and the oldest was a junior in high school, it's great. Our retirement savings are piling up, and we've been able to splurge on the kids and ourselves. My husband is upset, however, because I decided to pay for a cleaning lady. He and I discussed it, and we agreed that he and the kids didn't do a great job keeping the house clean and tidy while I was away. I hated coming home to a mess. It caused a few fights because they expected me to come home and clean up after them. Having her is fantastic. I come home to a clean house, and I'm happier. My kids have more time to study and do extracurriculars. They still have chores, but they're still expected to clean up after themselves. My husband came to me the last time I was home and said we should cut back on the service when I'm home and that I should be doing more housework. He thinks we're wasting money. I said that I work 14 days in a row and that those are 13-hour days. Yes, it is mostly paperwork, but his job as a teacher isn't much more physically challenging. I said that I could offer him two options. If he wanted, We could completely get rid of the service, and he and the kids could ensure the house was in good shape when I got home. Or he could pay me my hourly rate to do extra housework when I'm on my days off. He's upset with me and says that I'm being financially manipulative. If he and the kids actually did what they were supposed to do when I was away, none of this would be an issue. So you can afford it. Everything gets done. Everybody has free time. And nobody has to do crap they don't want to do. There aren't any fights over it. I mean, there's really no downside, and everybody wins. He's getting upset because you said if the maid goes, he'll have to do his fair share, which is very telling. You're not home to make the messes, but you're supposed to work that much and come clean up after him just because he wants to save money while getting to sit on his butt? People like your husband always reinforce my decision to stay single. His pride is hurt that she makes more than him, so he isn't the provider. This is definitely about control more than it is about cutting cost. If OP's at home fulfilling a traditional gender role instead of her job, the family finances will suffer more than if they continue to pay a cleaner. OP, not the idiot, but your husband is a misogynist one at that. Right? Like his proposal wasn't to get rid of the cleaning lady altogether. He still wants the cleaning lady when OP is away, but doesn't want her when OP is home. Spoiler, OP's husband is home every day. He's free to clean the house he lives in. The writing's on the wall. What an idiot. I adopted my pre-tween niece 5 years ago. Her parents just weren't fit to be parents. They're still involved in her life as her aunt and uncle. My niece is homeschooled. She goes to a co-op for 4.5 hours, 4 days a week. I work 3 12-hour shifts a week, so I usually need help getting her to and from co-op 1 to 3 days a week. My sister works nights and is available to take her. Since it's a drive back to the house, she usually hangs out at the co-op and helps with whatever they need. One mom at the co-op makes lunches for the kids as her contribution. She has all of their allergy and dietary info, and none of the kids have complained so far. Some examples of their lunches are turkey and ham sandwiches, PB&J, mac and cheese, chicken nuggets, grilled cheese, hot dogs, and occasionally pizza. She also gives them sides like a cracker, goldfish, Cheez-Its, chips, Ritz, veggie straws, etc., some kind of fruit slices or fruit cups, applesauce, and some kind of dessert, fruit snacks, cookies, brownies, etc., and a drink, usually milk or juice. My sister told my niece that she doesn't want her eating that crap, and that when she takes my niece to co-op, she'll be packing my niece's lunch. Apparently, she told my niece that carbs are bad for her, and that these lunches will make her fat. My niece came to me upset about it because she likes those lunches, and that's what everyone else eats. I told her my sister was wrong, and then sent her to play before calling my sister. My sister defended everything she did, and I told her that if she had concerns about my niece's diet, she would need to speak to me about it, not my niece. I also told her that I'm my niece's parent, not her, and that if she feels that she has the power to make unilateral decisions regarding her health without consulting me, I'll get her a babysitter that can take her to the co-op. A lot of my family is against me on this, and they say that it's my sister's kid, so she should have a say, and that my getting a babysitter will be cruel to both my niece and my sister. She's already staying with my neighbor during the day, but my neighbor can't take her to co-op. Am I the idiot for telling my sister she can't make decisions about my niece? Not the idiot. Your sister's pretty much lying. Carbohydrates are actually good for you. It sounds like the diet the co-op is following is actually doing pretty well. And I would just call your niece your daughter. Honestly, who the heck is your sister kidding? She's not your sister's kid. She's your kid. Did everyone forget about the adoption? The unfitness to be parents. From now on, from an adoptee standpoint, only refer to your daughter as your daughter. Trust me, she needs to hear it, and only refer to your sister as bio-mom when in a context like this, though otherwise aunt is fine. Do not let your sister make any decisions about your daughter. There's a reason you were able to adopt her. Your sister has no rights to her. I agree. Way to give an 8-year-old body issues in the future. You took your daughter in for a reason, and that reason is that your sister's unfit to be a parent. Your sister can't pass parenting off on you and then try to make stupid decisions for your daughter. Personally, I would get a babysitter and no longer leave the child alone with her. It isn't fair to let your sister cause harm by projecting her body image issues onto a child. So my husband, 38, and I, 36 female, are expecting our first child, a bouncing baby girl who's due in a few months. We were both over the moon when we found out the gender, but now things have gotten complicated to say the least. When we first started talking about names, the boy name was immediately decided. Stuart Jr., after my husband. No problem there. It's a classic name and carries family meaning. But for a girl, things got murky. My husband suggested Stuarta. No, you're not having a stroke. Apparently, his logic is that since Stuart ends in a T, we can just add an A to make it feminine. I explained why that doesn't work, how it sounds more like a furniture brand than a human name, and how she would be endlessly correcting people and explaining its origin. He's adamant, though. He says it honors him while giving our daughter a unique name. I've suggested alternative, feminine names that maybe share a similar sound or meaning to Stuart, names he's mentioned liking in the past, or even just going back to the drawing board entirely, but he's fixated on Stuart. Now, I love my husband dearly, and I understand wanting to honor family, but I can't imagine subjecting our daughter to a lifetime of awkward stares and endless questions about her unusual name. I also worry about potential bullying and the impact it could have on her self-esteem. So, am I the idiot for refusing to budge on Stuarta? Is there a compromise I haven't considered? Help a soon-to-be mama out. I'm speechless. That's absurd. Usually, I'm all for compromises in a relationship, but dear God, no. Don't budge. You can't subject your daughter to that. You are not the idiot. Naming a child is a 2 yes and 1 no situation. Why is he dead set on Stuarta? I mean, there are so many beautiful names, but he only wants to name his daughter after him? Why not after the mother? Like your name, Junior? It's a bit misogynistic to only want to name a baby after the father. Whose last name will the baby get? His as well? Yeah, I always wonder why parents insist on naming their kids after themselves. It seems like such an arrogant, egotistical thing to do. It's essentially like saying, my full name is so darn awesome that we're going to force it upon our child so they can continue the awesome legacy of my name. Like you couldn't think of something individual for this? Individual? Do they have to become an unwilling extension and continuation of yourself? It's so weird, right? That's what I was thinking. Why does he have to be honored with his first child? That's such an outdated misogynistic practice. I'm sorry, but who's carrying the baby for 9 months and then dealing with the immense pain of labor? But no, let's honor the father and his contribution. Seriously, why can't the daughter take on one of your names? Exactly. There's a huge difference between wanting to honor family names in a new child and being so darn pig-headed and selfish that you would saddle a child with a lifetime of ridicule just to get your name into theirs. Stuarta sounds like a pharmaceutical product. I can hear the commercials now. In some cases, Stuarta can cause headaches, rashes, and even death. It doesn't even have a decent nickname. And no, adding an A doesn't make it feminine in all cases. This is one of them. For the sake of your daughter, stand your ground on this one.